Welcome back to the channel. Here we are on a new day, a new farm, a new map. My cheap basic gaming computer just cannot keep up with all of the graphics needed for that Green Valley, Nebraska map, and my file became corrupted again, and I'm not going to spend another 2 weeks redoing everything. So we're going to start all over. This is basically the prologue to what I am going to be doing on what is going to be called Moose Farms. You'll see a little bit later in the film a start of what we're doing, but right now we're just going to clear some corn off of this ground. We're going to speed this up so you can watch, and then here toward the end I'll kind of give you guys an explanation of what we're going to do, and then the next video we'll go a little bit more in depth with that, and then we'll get back into the farming content. So no more Nebraska farmer videos in the near time. We're going to start this new Moose Farms series on a smaller map that uses less graphics and see how far it takes us. So we're going to speed this up and harvest some corn. it started raining on us and we couldn't quite get all of them out. So we're just gonna pause for a second here. I'll let you enjoy some of the sounds of the game. Do this at normal speed, but we're gonna get this last little bit more back up to the farm, and then I'm gonna give you a little bit of a tour of what we have started. And then once it stops raining, I finish this corn, work on a few other surprises for you. Out of the rain, so until it stops we're going to do a little bit of a tour. I'm going to start off, this is going to be the ranch portion of the farm. I'll give a further explanation when I get everything else put together, but we got a workshop here. You can see you got a couple workshop bays here, some space to get underneath, do some work on the vehicles. We got our livestock trailer parked right next to it. I head to the back here. We've got a little livestock barn down here. We're going to use this to run some dairy cows. Going to use that milk as just one way to supplement the income of the farm, and you'll see what all we can do with that later on in the series if you keep watching. Just a nice old rustic piece there. We walk back up over here to the sheds, and you'll see just some storage. I got some fertilizer and some seed sitting here out of the rain right now. And then I got our trailer that we can use to water the cows, our Case IH or International Chisel Plow, field cultivator. You saw my pickup there, hay trailer. There's a drill on the back as well as a hay bind. We're gonna jump in my pickup here. I've decided to use some of the mods for the game that don't use as much energy or use as much memory. So this is one of the in-game downloadable vehicles. It is not a name brand. The guy that made it actually named it the TLX. So he's got an entire series. You'll see the rest more of these in the future. But here is going to be our big pasture. We're going to run Red Angus cows here on the ranch. Again, if you keep watching the series, you'll get an explanation of why. Stay out of the lowlands there. Got some rain, got some flooding going on. What a really nice layout here, a pretty large pasture area that we'll run some Angus cows on, some commercial cows as well maybe. Run back out here. But again, back to the pickup. So the guy that made this is 82 Studios. He has the TLX 2020, the TLX 2022, the TLX 3500. He is currently working on a TLX 1986, I believe it is, so you may see that later on in the series once it's released. But back to the farm, got the soybean field here to the left, and then we got some grass fields up here to the right. This short patch here, right off the side of the road, was cut and put into the silo with the ranch to make silage for when we get the cows, and then you'll see up here some hay bales that were left over that wouldn't fit on the trailer. I gotta come back and get those sometime. Right now they're just getting waterlogged. And then back here is our larger grass field. That's where a majority of our hay for the farm is gonna come from. Now I'm gonna circle back around, head back to the house so we can wait out the rain until it's time to harvest again. So let you guys enjoy again some of the surroundings. I also chose this vehicle particularly. It's not as loud as the pickup that I had in the last game, so I can actually record and talk over the video and keep some of the in-game sounds playing back there without the sound of the engine overwhelming everybody. We're going to curve around back around here, go past the entrance to the ranch, back down the road toward the cornfield and the old. If you didn't notice, the house was right off to the side. If you might have noticed it when I was showing off the pasture as well. Right down here. Pull into the main yard. Pull on up into the workshop here. Take a note of some of the signs that are on the wall. Lots of tools in here. You'll see. Work on the tractors, work on the truck. Maybe if you keep watching this series, you might see a couple of side projects pop up around the side over here. There you can see toolbox, engine lift, another toolbox, just some basic tools in here. Some cool signs, refrigerator, even got a little couch over here, and of course the radio up there on top of the toolbox to listen to market prices and whatnot. So that's the workshop on the farm. Go over here to the house. You'll see I'm parking my pickup in there. As you can see that this garage on the house is just not quite big enough to fit that thing in there. It'll be a tight squeeze. Some more room in here to tinker, a little workshop is what it's being used for now. For some reason they didn't build that entrance to the house from the garage, so that's another reason to use the shed. I'm going to jump in here, sit down on the couch, catch a football game, wait for the rain to stop so I can go get the rest of the corn, and we will be back in the next video with the rest of the story.